Welcome to the Leverage Show. This is Brett Ingram. And today I want to share with you 4 ways to manage idea and information overload. You know, we live now in a society and in a time and in a business environment where it's both really exciting because there's a ton of stuff going on and there's a ton of possibilities, but it's also completely overwhelming because no matter where you look, there is information, there's stimulus, there are inputs, there are possibilities. And the question is, how do we manage all that? What do we do with it? Because we all want the same thing. We want to get the most out of our business and we want to do it in the fastest and easiest way possible. And so we can't just run our businesses by sort of sticking our head in the sand and only focusing on what we want to focus on. We have to have our head up. We need to be looking at the world, looking at the industry that we're in, looking at the trends and seeing what's going on, and also understanding how technology impacts that. And so when we try to take all of that stuff in, it's a ton to process. And it's very easy to get in a state of overwhelm where there's really, nothing that we can do. We sort of feel paralyzed by all of the stuff that's coming at us at once. I don't know if it's happened to you, but it's certainly happened to me where I've had all these great ideas of things that I wanted to do, and they just keep accumulating on a list. And then I get to a point where stuff sometimes is so old that I look back at it and I'm like, well, I don't even know if that's worth doing anymore. And it's frustrating and it's unfortunate because you never know what ones of those opportunities could have really become something. And so I developed a simple strategy for how to manage all the stuff coming at you and all the ideas that you have in your head to decide whether or not, how to process those in the most efficient way. For me, I spend a few minutes every single day trying to learn something new. So in addition to running my business, I'm also, trying to look at other publications or look at other podcasts or and every time I do that, it fills my head with all these great ideas of things I want to do. But, again, the problem is it's sort of a blessing and a curse because how do you work through that stuff? So 4 ways. Now, it all starts with identifying the possibilities and the potential for any of these ideas. So let's say that I'm reading an article online and it's about this awesome social media strategy. Well, the first thing that I need to do is decide and think to myself, even though it sounds exciting and there's a lot of great possibilities with it, within my business structure, within my framework, what is really the potential for this idea? Does it have really massive potential? Or is it something that really maybe at best would be interesting to do, but it's probably not going to really impact my bottom line? And then, so you want to assess that. And then you want to assess the difficulty in terms of being able to implement that. And based on those factors, based on what the upside potential is, and based on what the involvement or, the cost of sort of implementing that idea is, you want to come to sort of one of 4 decisions. The first decision is to act on it. So if there is something that you see, some stimulus that you get, some idea that you've got, that you say, wow, this thing is a game changer. This is something that if I do this, it's going to make a big difference. Or maybe it isn't going to make a major difference, but it's something that's really easy to implement. You want to act on that right now. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. By act on it, by the way, I mean put it on the calendar, schedule it, actually add it to what it is that you're going to be doing. So I use a scheduling app. I actually use Teamwork right now, although anything that I use is subject to change if I find something better. But I use Teamwork. So when I find something that's like this, I literally go in and I add that directly to my calendar. I add it as a task or I add it as an event. And so a perfect example of this is something I discovered a few months ago about gratitude. I was reading these articles and it talked about how showing gratitude and feeling grateful for things actually has a physical manifestation in your life and it actually it rewires your brain to think in a different way, to create more positive feelings and to create better outcomes and results. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to add right now to my calendar a recurring task every single day where I'm going to think of 5 things that I'm grateful for. And so I acted on it. I added that to my calendar right now, and that's where I put it. And so that was something I could do because I think it has a lot of potential upside, but at the same time, it's also something I can implement like that. All right, so that was the one thing that I did with that. Now, second thing that you can do is you can delegate it. So let's say it's something that either needs more study or it's something that, okay, this is something that's really good, but it isn't something that I need to do personally, or it's something that requires a lot of legwork to figure it out. So in those cases, you might want to give that to your staff or hire an outsourcer or give it to an outsourcer. And so an example of this is like a marketing idea. So say you saw this great idea for social media marketing and you said, wow, this sounds really good, but this is going to require 6 hours of research to dig into it. Then it's going to require a little bit of analysis. And then it's going to require a step-by-step plan to implement it. So I'm going to outsource this. Again, I'm going to act on it right now. But the way I'm going to act on it is I'm going to hire an outsourcer, or I'm going to get one of my staff members to go ahead and take this idea, and I'm going to tell them, listen, I need you to do the research on this particular marketing idea with social media. I need A, B, C, D, and E, and come back to me after you've had a chance to research that and figure it out. Then when they come back, what you're basically doing is you're turning an input into an output. So you've got this great idea for a social media marketing plan, and then you realize, okay, let's get that off the table, but let's get it moving. Now you're turning it into an output. You've given it to somebody. They're going to come back to you in however many hours, and they're going to come back to you with another input, because now they're going to have the list of, okay, this is what's possible with this. This is what's required. Then you're going to go back through the same decision-making process. You're either going to act on it, you're going to delegate it, or one of the other 2 suggestions I'll give you in a minute. And so if based on what they come back to you with, it's something that you can implement, you can act on it immediately. Or you can delegate it. You can say, okay, great. You came up with all these ideas. Now I need you to go back and come up with the 8 steps or the 10-step process that we need in order to be able to do this in our business every day. So you're constantly churning stuff, but by doing this, you're kind of becoming like an octopus. You've got lots of arms moving in lots of different ways, but you aren't personally responsible for it all. And so it's a great way to accomplish a lot more and to really manage that information and idea overwhelm. Now, there's a third possibility, and that is sometimes you run across an idea. I'm reading an article or I listen to a podcast, or I was going through some training program, because I do invest in training. I highly recommend that you do that. You should be a lifelong learner in whatever discipline that you're in. And by doing that, you can learn a lot of things from other people that you can incorporate in your own business. And the third possibility is to table it. Now, this is the one that you want to use the least often, because again, this creates sort of mental overhead if you do this too much. But what I mean by tabling it is I create what I call a possibilities list. And this is for things that I think have potential, but they're not strong enough to act on right now. It isn't something I think I can get an immediate impact, or it isn't something I think I should prioritize over what I'm currently, or my company is currently working on. So it's something for sort of down the road. And it isn't something that I want to work on, but I'm not ready to just wash my hands of it yet either, because I do think that there's some real potential with this idea. So what I would do for that is I would put that on what I call a possibilities list. And all that is literally just a list of stuff. And you can rank order it if you want, but I just use that, and when I come up for air once in a while, every once in a while I go back and I look at this list. And what will happen is you will find that based on where you are in your business and based on where you are with everything, certain things will jump off the page at you, either one way or another. I'll have put ideas in this possibilities list. I'll go back and I'll look at it in a month. And 3 of them I'll say, ugh, I don't even know why I thought of that. Line those 3 out. Delete them. If once in a while you'll look at it and you'll say, wow, that is a great idea. It fits in perfectly with what we're doing right now. And so, again, just to put this to a specific example, let's just say that one of the things that I put on there was a YouTube marketing plan, right? Something to do with creating videos and marketing them on YouTube. Well, in the background, I'm doing this social media thing with my staff. I've had them outsource this or whatever. I've had them do this research and all this other stuff. So let's say 60 days go by. And we've gotten to a point with the social media thing where we're really starting to build it up now. And we're focusing on Facebook and Twitter. Now I go back to my possibilities list and I see this thing about YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, if I incorporate this into what I'm doing with my social strategy, it all fits together perfectly. And it expands the impact and the reach of what we're currently doing. So that's the purpose of the possibilities list. It's important that you revisit it from time to time so you can delete stuff. You don't want this to just be like a mental garbage can where you're constantly going back to it and now it's 8 and 10 and 15 pages long. It should all fit on one page. If you get past one page, it's time to start deleting stuff. Just be brutally honest with yourself. Am I really ever going to do this? And if I'm still not sure, I could leave it there. But if most likely I'm not, delete it. You'll come back with a better idea anyway. You're going to have more ideas, backfilling those ideas anyway. And then the 4th thing that you can do, flat out simple, is junk it. You know, I come across ideas sometimes and I say, oh, you know, wow, it's got some really good potential. Then I start to think about it a little bit and I say, you know, within my given company structure, within what my company stands for, within the goals and direction that we're trying to move, this is a great idea. But in all honesty, it doesn't really make sense for what I'm doing. It's equally important to be able to take stuff off the table and to remove possibilities and to simplify and to de-junk as it is to explore things and expand and take advantage of opportunities. So be really honest with yourself. You know, I'd love to get into CPA marketing. It's a departure from the stuff that I've been doing. And while I think there's a lot of money there and it could be something that would be really profitable, it's not really consistent with the direction of my company right now. So even though I see this great training program with step-by-step ability for how to do this, and I think I could implement it in my business, it's so far out of the core of what I'm trying to do, junk it. It isn't worth it. You can always come back to it later if you revisit it at some point in the future. And now at that point, it pops for you, great. Then at that point, act on it or delegate it. But for now, have the ability to junk it. So the 4 ways that you want to manage your idea and info overload are to act on it, add it to your schedule or calendar immediately, delegate it, give it to somebody else or outsource it to somebody to get moving on it. Turn that input into an output. Table it, add it to a possibilities list that you revisit every few weeks or month, and then you either line things out or you upgrade them to act on or delegate. And then you can junk it, which is just, okay, it's cool, but whatever, not cool enough to make my list. I'm just going to delete it. If you practice those 4 ways with every single input and every single idea you get, you'll have a very organized structure and you'll be able to manage all of that without getting overwhelmed. As always, if you have any questions or comments, share them with me at LeverageShow.com or tweet them at #LeverageShow. And until next time, make it happen.